A leadership is about listening, not controlling. In a world where authority is often seen as the ultimate measure of leadership, it's easy to forget that true leadership doesn't come from issuing commands or displaying dominance. In fact, the most effective leaders are those who have mastered the art of listening. They understand that leadership is not about having all the answers or always being the loudest voice in the room. Rather, it is about creating an environment where individuals feel safe, valued, and encouraged to express their thoughts, ideas, and concerns. Listening as a leader requires a shift in mindset. It's about moving away from the traditional view of leadership as hierarchical and top-down. In this traditional model, leaders are often seen as the ones who know it all, who make decisions in isolation, and who hold all the power. The assumption is that the leader's role is to give orders and ensure that those orders are followed, with little input or collaboration from those on the ground. This approach, however, can stifle creativity, limit innovation, and create an environment of disengagement and resentment among team members. When leaders focus on listening, they do not only gather information, they also signal to their team that their opinions matter. People crave recognition for their ideas and contributions. A leader who listens shows respect for their team's perspectives, creating an atmosphere where individuals feel empowered to speak up without fear of judgment or retaliation. This open exchange fosters a deeper connection between the leader and their team, allowing for more effective problem-solving and decision-making. A key aspect of listening as a leader is active listening. Active listening goes beyond hearing words. It involves being fully present in the moment, observing nonverbal cues, and asking thoughtful follow-up questions to ensure clarity. This kind of listening requires attention, patience, and a genuine curiosity to understand others' viewpoints. It is not about quickly formulating a response or waiting for a pause in conversation to interject. It is about absorbing what is being said and allowing the other person to feel that their voice is being heard. When leaders engage in active listening, they create an environment where people feel comfortable sharing not just what's on their minds, but also their vulnerabilities, challenges, and aspirations. Furthermore, when leaders listen, they demonstrate humility. They acknowledge that they don't have all the answers, and that everyone has valuable insights to offer. Humility is a cornerstone of effective leadership because it allows leaders to tap into the collective intelligence of their team. By recognizing that their team members are experts in their respective roles, leaders open the door to collaboration and innovation. This can lead to more diverse perspectives, better solutions to problems, and a sense of shared ownership in the team's success. Listening also plays a crucial role in building trust, which is essential for any successful leader-team relationship. Trust is not given, it is earned through consistent actions over time. When leaders listen attentively and respond thoughtfully, they create an environment of psychological safety, where team members feel comfortable taking risks, sharing new ideas, and challenging the status quo. Trust is the foundation of strong relationships, and without it, leaders will struggle to motivate and inspire their teams. Listening is one of the most powerful tools a leader can use to build and maintain this trust. Another benefit of listening is that it promotes emotional intelligence in leadership. Emotional intelligence, which encompasses self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and social skills, is a critical component of effective leadership. Leaders who listen actively and empathetically are better able to understand the emotional needs of their team members. They can sense when someone is struggling, when morale is low, or when there is a disconnect between team members. This allows them to address issues proactively and provide support where it is needed most. By tapping into the emotions of their team, leaders can navigate complex interpersonal dynamics and help create a more harmonious and productive work environment. Listening also enhances problem-solving and decision-making. When leaders take the time to listen to their team, they gain a more comprehensive understanding of the issues at hand. Instead of relying solely on their own perspective, they can draw on the collective knowledge and expertise of their team. This leads to more informed and well-rounded decisions that take into account different viewpoints and potential solutions. A leader who listens is more likely to uncover hidden challenges, identify opportunities for improvement, and make decisions that have a positive impact on the team and the organization as a whole. Lastly, listening helps leaders adapt and grow. In today's fast-paced, ever-changing world, leadership must be flexible and responsive to new information and evolving circumstances. Leaders who listen are more open to feedback, both positive and negative, and are better equipped to adjust their strategies and approaches accordingly. They understand that growth and progress are not linear, and that being receptive to feedback and learning from others is a crucial part of the leadership journey. In conclusion, leadership is about listening, not controlling. Leaders who embrace the power of listening create environments of trust, collaboration, and innovation. They build strong relationships with their teams, foster engagement, and make more informed decisions. In a world where many are craving authentic connection and understanding, listening is the key to unlocking the full potential of individuals and teams alike. True leadership is not about asserting control. It is about making room for others to speak, share, and be heard. Trust is built when people feel heard. At the heart of every successful team, organization, and relationship lies trust. Without trust, collaboration falters, communication breaks down, and morale declines. Trust is the glue that holds together individuals with diverse perspectives, talents, and goals. Yet, one of the simplest yet most profound ways to build trust is often overlooked: by actively listening to others. When we listen, we show respect for the speaker's perspective. We signal that their thoughts, ideas, and feelings are valid and worth considering. The act of listening communicates empathy, and empathy is one of the core ingredients of trust. When people feel that they are truly being heard, they are more likely to trust the listener. This is not just about hearing the words, but about understanding the context behind them, acknowledging the emotions and motivations that accompany them, and responding in a way that validates the speaker's experience. Listening is a powerful form of nonverbal communication, and it communicates interest, patience, and an openness to understanding. When a leader or team member takes the time to listen carefully, it creates an environment where others feel safe to express themselves. They don't feel pressured to conform to a certain way of thinking or suppress their concerns. Instead, they feel empowered to share their honest thoughts and ideas. This sense of safety is critical in building trust. People are more likely to trust those who create an open space for dialogue and provide assurance that their voice matters. Trust is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. It takes consistent effort to establish and maintain trust, and this is where listening becomes essential. When leaders and team members consistently demonstrate that they are listening, the sense of trust grows over time. The act of listening communicates that you are present, that you value the other person's perspective, and that you are committed to the relationship. It shows that you are not just waiting for your turn to speak, but are genuinely invested in the conversation. Additionally, when people feel heard, they are more likely to reciprocate that behavior. Trust is a two-way street. When one person listens attentively, it encourages others to do the same. This creates a ripple effect that spreads throughout the entire team or organization. As trust deepens through listening, individuals become more willing to collaborate, share information, and work together toward common goals. Trust fosters transparency, and transparency leads to more open communication, which in turn strengthens the bond of trust even further. Listening also helps in understanding different perspectives. Every person brings a unique set of experiences, skills, and viewpoints to the table. When we take the time to listen, we gain a better understanding of these perspectives. This not only fosters a deeper connection between individuals, but also allows for more effective problem-solving and decision-making. People are more likely to trust decisions made by leaders or teams that take the time to consider all viewpoints and involve others in the process. Listening ensures that decisions are more inclusive, well-rounded, and thoughtful. The absence of listening, on the other hand, can create a significant trust gap. When individuals feel that they are not being listened to, they may feel disregarded or devalued. This can lead to frustration, disengagement, and even resentment. In organizations, this can result in low morale, high turnover rates, and decreased productivity. Trust begins to erode, and without trust, the foundation of any relationship or team begins to crumble. This is why listening is so important. It acts as the safeguard against the breakdown of trust and helps maintain a healthy, productive environment. Listening is especially important in times of conflict or challenge. When tensions rise, emotions can cloud judgment and misunderstandings can occur. However, when leaders and team members make the conscious effort to listen with empathy and openness, they can navigate these difficult situations more effectively. Listening in times of conflict allows individuals to feel heard and understood, even if their opinions or feelings differ. It provides an opportunity for de-escalation and fosters mutual respect, which is critical for rebuilding trust when it has been compromised. Moreover, listening enables leaders to recognize when something is wrong or when a team member is struggling. Sometimes people may not directly express their concerns, but their body language, tone, or choice of words can indicate that something is off. When leaders are attuned to these subtle cues, they can take proactive steps to address the issue before it escalates. By listening attentively, leaders demonstrate that they are not just focused on results and productivity, but are genuinely concerned about the well-being of their team. This kind of leadership builds trust because it shows that the leader values the person, not just the performance. In relationships, both personal and professional, trust is often tested during times of stress, change, or uncertainty. In these moments, listening can serve as a stabilizing force. It provides a sense of security and reassurance that no matter what challenges lie ahead, there is someone who will stand by you and listen to your needs and concerns. This kind of support strengthens trust and encourages individuals to open up, share their vulnerabilities, and work together to overcome obstacles. Trust is the cornerstone of any thriving organization. It enables collaboration, enhances communication, and fosters a culture of mutual respect and understanding. However, building trust requires more than just words or actions. It requires a deep commitment to listening. When people feel heard, they feel valued. And when they feel valued, they are more likely to trust the person who listens. Listening is not a passive act. It is an active choice that has the power to transform relationships and create lasting connections. Trust, after all, is not built on promises or assumptions. It is built on the simple yet profound act of listening. The best leaders create space, not pressure. In the landscape of leadership, the approach leaders take can have a profound impact on the overall environment of their teams and organizations. Too often, we associate effective leadership with pressure, deadlines, and expectations. We believe that for things to get done, there must be a constant sense of urgency, a constant push toward more productivity and faster results. This kind of leadership, however, can create stress, burnout, and disengagement, leading to a decrease in overall performance. True leadership, however, is about creating space, not pressure. Creating space means fostering an environment where people feel free to think, innovate, and take risks. It's about giving individuals the autonomy and room they need to do their best work, without feeling constantly weighed down by deadlines or the fear of failure. When leaders create space, they recognize that their team members are capable, skilled, and intelligent individuals who can contribute meaningfully to the organization's goals. The role of the leader, then, is not to micromanage or control every aspect of their team's work, but to give them the freedom to explore, to experiment, and to grow. Pressure, on the other hand, creates a climate of fear and anxiety. When teams are under constant pressure to perform at high levels, it can lead to a culture of perfectionism, where individuals are afraid to make mistakes or take risks. The fear of failure becomes paralyzing, leading to a decrease in creativity and innovation. When leaders emphasize pressure over support, they may see short-term results. But over time, this can erode morale, hinder collaboration, and stifle growth. People who feel constantly pressured may also experience burnout, which reduces both their productivity and their overall job satisfaction. Instead of driving improvement, pressure can create a barrier to success. Leaders who create space, however, provide an environment where people can thrive. They trust their teams to do their jobs without constantly looking over their shoulders or issuing commands. This sense of trust allows individuals to feel empowered in their roles, knowing they have the freedom to make decisions, take initiative, and solve problems in their own way. When leaders step back and allow their teams the space to work, they encourage autonomy and ownership, which leads to a more engaged and motivated workforce. People are more likely to invest in their work when they feel they have the freedom to approach tasks in a way that aligns with their skills, strengths, and values. Moreover, creating space allows for mistakes and learning. Mistakes are an inevitable part of growth and innovation, yet when leaders apply excessive pressure, they discourage risk-taking and experimentation. People become afraid to try new approaches or suggest new ideas because they fear the consequences of failure. Leaders who create space, however, understand that mistakes are opportunities for learning. They create an environment where failure is not seen as something to be avoided at all costs, but as a natural part of the process. In such an environment, team members feel safe to push the boundaries of what's possible, knowing that their mistakes will be viewed as stepping stones toward improvement rather than failures to be penalized. This kind of leadership encourages continuous learning, adaptation, and growth. The ability to create space also means providing time for reflection and personal development. Leaders who prioritize space understand the importance of downtime and self-care. They recognize that in order for people to do their best work, they need time to recharge, reflect, and invest in their personal growth. Leaders who push their teams too hard may inadvertently lead to exhaustion and burnout, but those who create space allow for balance and well-being. They encourage their teams to take time to rest, to reflect on their work, and to engage in activities that foster personal and professional growth. This balanced approach leads to a healthier, more sustainable work environment where individuals are more likely to be engaged, motivated, and committed to the organization's long-term success. Creating space also promotes collaboration and open communication. When there is pressure to perform, individuals may focus on their own tasks, avoiding collaboration in order to meet deadlines or avoid making mistakes. And in a high-pressure environment, there is often a reluctance to share ideas or ask for help because individuals fear it will be seen as a sign of weakness or incompetence. Leaders who create space, however, foster a culture of collaboration by encouraging open communication, idea sharing, and collective problem-solving. When people feel that they have the time and freedom to communicate openly, they are more likely to work together effectively and come up with innovative solutions to problems. This collaborative spirit is essential for fostering creativity, building strong relationships, and achieving shared goals. Additionally, creating space means giving people the opportunity to contribute meaningfully to the organization's larger vision. When leaders allow individuals to take ownership of their work, they encourage them to think beyond the immediate tasks at hand and to consider the bigger picture. People who feel that they have a voice in the direction of the organization are more likely to be invested in its success. When individuals have the space to contribute their ideas, they feel a sense of purpose and ownership, which drives engagement and performance. This alignment with the organization's mission and goals leads to a more cohesive and motivated team. Leaders who create space are also more likely to build trust within their teams. Trust is an essential component of effective leadership, and it is built when individuals feel respected, valued, and given the autonomy to perform at their best. When leaders impose pressure, they often undermine trust by signaling that they don't believe in their team's abilities or judgment. However, when leaders step back and create space for their teams to flourish, they demonstrate confidence in their team's capabilities. This trust is foundational for building strong relationships, encouraging collaboration, and achieving long-term success. In conclusion, the best leaders create space, not pressure. By fostering an environment where individuals feel empowered, trusted, and supported, leaders can unlock the full potential of their teams. Creating space allows for innovation, growth, and collaboration, leading to higher levels of engagement and productivity. Instead of driving results through pressure, the best leaders understand that success comes from providing the time, autonomy, and freedom for people to perform at their best. Listening drives engagement, innovation, and growth. In today's fast-paced and interconnected world, organizations and teams are constantly under pressure to keep up with change, solve complex problems, and find new ways to grow. Amidst all the demands for efficiency, productivity, and results, it's easy to forget the essential ingredient for success: listening. Listening is not just a passive act, but an active process that directly contributes to engagement, innovation, and growth in both individuals and organizations. When leaders and team members listen to one another, they create an environment where everyone feels valued and their contributions are acknowledged. This sense of being heard drives engagement. Engagement isn't just about employees showing up to work. It's about employees being emotionally invested in their tasks, their teams, and the goals of the organization. When individuals feel that their voices are heard, they are more likely to go above and beyond in their work, offering their best ideas and energy. Active listening demonstrates that leaders care about their team's thoughts and perspectives. It makes people feel like they are part of the decision-making process, not just passive recipients of directives. As a result, engagement flourishes because people are no longer merely going through the motions. They are fully invested in their roles and the organization's success. Moreover, listening also helps create a sense of belonging. When leaders take the time to listen, they show their team that they are interested in more than just results. They are interested in people. This connection fosters a culture of inclusivity, where diverse perspectives are valued. In an environment where people feel that they can contribute without fear of dismissal, individuals are more likely to share their unique insights, ask questions, and offer creative solutions. This is particularly important in diverse teams where varying viewpoints can bring fresh perspectives to the table. When people feel listened to, they are more likely to share their ideas and challenges, which leads to richer, more diverse conversations that fuel innovation. Innovation is often born out of dialogue and collaboration. When individuals listen to each other, they open up possibilities for new ideas. Listening allows team members to understand the needs, concerns, and challenges faced by others, which helps identify gaps or opportunities that may not have been initially apparent. By engaging in active listening, leaders and teams can uncover hidden talents, address problems more efficiently, and spot opportunities for growth and improvement. Listening allows teams to solve problems in a more holistic and comprehensive way, because they have gathered a wide range of viewpoints before jumping to conclusions or rushing to implement solutions. In this way, listening serves as the foundation for creative thinking and innovation. Additionally, listening drives innovation because it creates a culture of psychological safety. When people feel safe to express themselves without fear of judgment or retribution, they are more likely to speak up with new ideas and bold suggestions. In environments where employees are discouraged from sharing their opinions or are not listened to, innovation stagnates. In fact, the lack of listening often leads to disengagement and frustration, where individuals begin to feel their ideas don't matter, and they stop offering them altogether. A leader who listens actively provides a platform for innovation to thrive by fostering an atmosphere where people feel heard, respected, and encouraged to think outside the box. This leads to more creative problem-solving, greater risk-taking, and ultimately, growth for both individuals and organizations. Listening also plays a vital role in the personal and professional growth of team members. When leaders listen to their employees, they gain insight into their strengths, areas for improvement, and career aspirations. This understanding enables leaders to provide more meaningful guidance, offer relevant opportunities for development, and support individuals in their growth journeys. Active listening is not just about gathering feedback, but also about giving feedback in a constructive, empathetic manner. Leaders who listen closely can offer tailored advice that helps individuals develop new skills, take on new challenges, and grow in their careers. This sense of growth and opportunity drives engagement, as people are more likely to stay committed to organizations that invest in their development. Furthermore, listening facilitates continuous improvement. In the pursuit of growth, feedback is essential. Whether from employees, customers, or stakeholders, feedback provides valuable insights into what is working and what isn't. Leaders who listen are able to identify patterns, detect issues before they become major problems, and implement changes that improve the way things are done. Listening is not just about gathering feedback in times of crisis. It's about creating an ongoing dialogue where input is continuously welcomed. When leaders listen to feedback regularly and act on it, they build trust and a culture of continuous improvement. This in turn drives growth as organizations become more adaptable, responsive, and proactive in addressing challenges and seizing new opportunities. Another critical way listening drives growth is by fostering collaboration. No one person can have all the answers, and no single department or team can solve every problem on its own. Innovation and growth occur when individuals and teams work together, pooling their knowledge and expertise. Listening is a fundamental component of collaboration because it allows individuals to learn from one another, challenge each other's ideas, and build on each other's strengths. Collaboration becomes a dynamic, creative process when listening is at its core. Teams that listen to one another are better able to align their goals, find common ground, and solve problems more effectively. They tap into the collective intelligence of the group, which leads to more well-rounded solutions and greater overall success. The impact of listening extends beyond the internal workings of a team or organization. In a broader sense, listening also helps organizations grow by strengthening relationships with customers, clients, and other external stakeholders. When organizations actively listen to the needs, concerns, and feedback of their customers, they can tailor their products, services, and strategies to meet those needs more effectively. Listening to customers fosters loyalty, increases satisfaction, and ensures that organizations are always aligned with the evolving demands of the market. Listening is not a passive or trivial activity. It is a catalyst for engagement, innovation, and growth. Leaders who prioritize listening not only create an environment where people feel valued and heard, but they also foster creativity, collaboration, and improvement. Listening drives performance and helps individuals and teams unlock their full potential, ensuring that organizations remain adaptable, innovative, and poised for continued success in an ever-changing world.